right. What's up, everybody? I'm super excited. This is our Thursday night live. As you know, we stream like a boss over here. Look, I'm Tanya Smith, and this is my weekly live stream show where I love working with you, helping you to leverage live stream marketing tips, trends, software, services, so that you can sell more of your services, stand out online, right? All of the things. And I see some of my OGs and my newbies in the house. So let me explain what that is. Look, every week when we go live, I try to acknowledge you because this is real live conversation that we're having. We're asking questions, we're chatting. Sometimes we bring on special guests like I have for you tonight. But you are the most important part of this show. So I want to acknowledge you. If you have been here before, you're a repeat viewer, then I want you to type in hashtag OG because you are part of the family. And if you're brand new and this is your first time ever watching our stream, I want you to type in hashtag newbie. So I'm super excited that you're here. I'm grateful that you're here. I see you. I feel you. I'm excited. And look, we're going to have a very special guest, Greg Wasserman from Castmagic. And I'm going to let him introduce himself in a few minutes. But while we're doing this introduction, I want you to be preparing yourself by getting your notepad and your pen ready and ask some questions. If something is jiving with you, I want you to write it down, put it in the chat, let us know. My number one question for you right now is how do you leverage AI? How are you leveraging AI with your content? And are you 10xing your content right now with AI? Because if not, Greg is here to teach you some strategies and to share some things that Castmagic can do to help you with that. And I'm also going to give you a sneak peek into some of my own secret workflows as well. So are we ready? If we're ready to get started, I see some of my newbies, my OGs. You're not a newbie anymore, Aisha. You're family. I'm going to pull those comments up when we come back, okay? But take a second. We're going to go through our quick intro video. And then when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to Greg. I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Let's go. That's right. All right, Greg, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Oh my God. Like, you're part of my community, so it's an honor now to be part of your community and join all these amazing OGs and newbies and be a newbie myself. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome here. And we are excited and thrilled that you're going to be here helping us to get just like really souped up with AI and with Castmagic. So I know that you have a set of slides that we're going to go through. Before we do that, I want to acknowledge some of the folks that are in the house. Is that good?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'm moving us over to this comment screen because I want to pop up and acknowledge folks that are here. So, Richard from Shields Up. And you know what? Yep, I need to fix that. I will fix that in just a second. But Richard is in the house. And Richard says, hello, folks. What's up? I see the honest accomplice. That is Dan the man, Dan Roth. And I
Oh,
know,
Dan. I know Dan.
do you know Dan? Everybody knows Dan. Who doesn't
Yeah.
know Dan? Hey, Dan, I'm going to use this time really fast to move something, to change something up. Because I noticed that it didn't give me what I wanted it to give me just now. So hold on one second. And let's make sure we show you big and pretty. Dan's going to be like, pretty? What do you mean by that? All right, we'll fix all that in just a second. Okay, so you're here. Yvette, hello. What's up? Tanya and Greg, ready, set, get it. Let's go. I know what's up. Aisha says, newbie, kinda. You ain't a newbie anymore. You're family, like I said. Stepping out with Valerie Harris says she's an OG. I see you. Marcia Baker in the house. Anne Marie. newbie, everybody. Hey, it's wonderful to see you here. I'm going to blow these letters up a little bit more. Something just fixed itself while we were talking. So I'm going to make this big and nice and bright. There we go, so we can see you. All right. Thank you. Let's go ahead and switch on over. Look, Greg, I'm going to give you a few minutes to first introduce yourself and just tell people a little bit about who you are. And then we can get into the teaching mode because I know you got some really amazing stuff for people to know.
Amazing. Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's
So
start.
I'm going to switch on over to you and just let you intro yourself first. How about that?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Look, my 20 years in the media space, partnerships, and I've kind of landed over here at Castmagic. Um, Podcast expert, ran 3 podcast listening platforms, all about content repurposing, and that's where it landed me here with Castmagic, which is all about how do we make you work smarter, not harder, and leverage AI to do it.
And look, Greg and I were just talking about. He mentioned something when he popped on. He said, "Wait a minute, I didn't know you were one of the early birds. You were one of the first ones to use Cast Magic." It's true, Greg.
I know. I guess the joys of Blaine being the founder, he gets to talk to everyone and see everyone far more than I do, even though I run the community. And when I'm like, yeah, we're doing this, he's like, oh, well, she's one of the first people got in early.
I
I'm like,
did.
oh my God, that's amazing.
I did. I did. And I knew the benefit. After he and I talked, I told a little story earlier today about how I kind of critiqued it for a bit. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like that. And then he said, just wait, we're fixing things. And you did. Oh my God. Look, y'all, I'm going to stop. I love it. And Valerie says, I got to pop this up. Valerie says, I joined early too and happy I did so.
Well, hopefully we can give you even more insights because every time I do this, whether you are an OG who's been using the tool, there's still so much to think about with the world of AI and what it's been doing.
Yes. And then one more comment, and then I'm going to come back to comments, y'all. I promise. Aisha said, working smarter is my favorite. Well, that's what we're
Mhm.
about to do. So, Greg, I'm going to turn it over to you to go through some slides. And then we're, of course, going to answer questions, y'all. So, if you do have questions, pop them in the chat. If you have any comments, if there's a light bulb moment for you, we want to know how you're actually using AI right now. So, if you don't mind, put that into the chat. Like, how are you using it today? And is there a particular platform you're using today? And I'm going to go ahead and let Greg talk to us about why Cast Magic is the jam. So here we go.
Yeah, I'm looking for the comments here. I'm like, all right, what are people using right now? If I were about to go and talk about how to 10x your content using AI, who's using what right now? And if no one's using anything, then even more reasons why this is why we're all here for this,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
So it's the whole purpose, the purpose of this is literally understanding how AI is your friend, how you can leverage it and ultimately grow your brand and your bottom line. The agenda is educational. Not here to sell you anything. It's really just a matter of educating why you should be using AI to 10x your content and once again working smarter instead of harder. I can skip this because we just did that. So let's think about, since this is, I had no clue you're all about OG and newbies. So let's talk about the OG of content, Gary Vaynerchuk. Like Gary V's whole thing has been about content repurposing. You see Gary everywhere. And he's really made it well known that he has, regardless of a team, his whole thing is how do I take one piece of content and distribute it to all these other platforms native to each one of those platforms. But he's smart in terms of understanding I have to take this one piece, wrap it for a different audience on a different social media platform. It involves processing, identifying original content, different audiences, snipping out those parts to create micro content that serves some of the most valuable and relevant paths. And so if we use Gary V as a basis for basically why you should be using AI for your content repurposing, you're going to have a great time here. So the biggest thing is it's overwhelming. I am not Gary V, right? So I don't have a team. I'm not this big head honcho, but at the end of the day, it's okay. Like scaling content can face several friction points, hinders you, but let's work through some of these overwhelming feelings, right? Like resource limitations, limited time, manpower, budget. We all can admit there's not 28 hours in a day. I don't have time to do everything. So it's overwhelming. Maintaining quality. As quantity increases, maintaining the same level of quality across all content pieces becomes challenging. So trying to ensure that consistency and relevancy can be difficult. Content diversification, creating a varied content types, a blog, video, podcast, newsletter, you name it, different skill sets for each of those. It's overwhelming. I can't do all of that. Audience engagement, thinking about scaling sometimes can dilute the personalization of your audience. So creating content resonates with a larger audience without losing that personal touch is a common challenge. Content repurposing, which we'll go deeper into here, right? But like reusing content across platforms while maintaining a uniqueness is key to scaling. However, repurposing content effectively without appearing repetitive can be a hurdle. And then workflow, you think about like as your team grows, as you are across multiple places, managing that becomes a struggle. Trends. What's hot now is this trend, and how am I supposed to know that I have to stay on top of that? Becomes tough. Technologies and tools constantly evolving. Just look at AI, and that's kind of the whole point here. AI is constantly changing. And the measuring. How am I supposed to measure all this data? Like, there's just a lot. It's overwhelming, and that's literally the point of this. Like, okay, it's overwhelming. Let's now show you how to make this easy for you. So, what role does AI play? That is the key thing. You want to be authentic and have your own voice. You don't want it to be, you don't want to be going to like ChatGPT and saying, write me something. It's not my voice. It's not me. It's not my authentic. Like in the day and age right now where content is king, your voice, your brand is key. You can't outsource your brand. You can't outsource you. And so don't over automate. Make sure that you're thinking about yourself. So that's why I'll go into this. Like, why 10x your content using AI? Volume becomes a big thing. So consistency, regular content keeps your audience engaged, establishes a routine, and increases the likelihood of retaining their interest. I post on LinkedIn, that's where I live. Every day I'm posting on there. I have no clue who's engaging with it in a year. I have no clue. It's just a consistent piece. It is working that motor skill so that I can constantly repeat, which then increases my visibility and my reach. More content means more opportunities for your work to be seen. Each piece can attract new viewers, new readers, expanding your audience. Diversifying offerings. So producing a variety of content allows you to cater to different preferences. If you're like, I want you to watch this video, but I'm never going to watch this video, but I will read your newsletter, think about it. Now you can take that one piece of content and engage with me where I see fit, and allows you to diversify your audience and what makes sense for them. SEO and algorithm impact. So search engines favor more content. When I look at people, my background's on the podcast side. So I think about those that have a podcast and they just have one page with all of their podcast on it instead of an individual page dedicated to each episode. You're not allowing the algorithms to really work. You're not helping yourself. And of course, we're all here for establishing authority. The more content, quality content you produce, the more you establish yourself as an authority in your field. And because of all that, leads to data. Audience insights, increased data means more information about your audience, which we all can value. Who's watching my YouTube channel versus who's reading my newsletter, who's reading my LinkedIn post, all of that is useful data. Being able to use one piece of content, repurpose it, and have all those touch points allows you now to have more data, content that you can now optimize. So if I look at like a LinkedIn post, I always like this example. I can create a LinkedIn post 3 different ways with one piece of content. Something that's informative, something that is with a call to action, something that's educational. I can literally use one video and go, write me 3 LinkedIn posts with a different kind of tone, a different call to action, and start A/B testing and see what engagement I get, which then allows you to refine your targeting. So data helps in identifying specific demographics or niches that your audience should be. Enables you to figure out, how should I talk to this audience? So take that LinkedIn example. I can now start going like, all right, my audience is they're video people, they're podcasters, they're coaches, they're mothers. I want a language that speaks to all that. Well, how am I supposed to write for each one of those? AI is your friend, and it's going to allow you to do that, which then also opens up monetization opportunities. So data can be valuable for potential collaborations, sponsorships, partnerships. Brands often look for creators who have a deep understanding of their audience, which can be demonstrated through that data. And then content longevity. Understanding what content enduring popularity through data analysis is in creating evergreen content. This content remains relevant, continues to attract an audience over an extended period of time. Which then, of course, leads to like this next piece. Personalization, increased engagement. Personalized content resonates more deeply with individuals because it's tailored to their interest. It builds a relationship. It creates a retention and loyalty. So you have this volume play that gives you more data that you can personalize, and then you can do all this automated content with a tool like Castmagic, which we'll go into, but it's really just getting you to think. Originally, Gary Vee, overwhelmed with how am I going to do this? But now you start understanding like, oh, I can use a tool and all the value that using a tool is going to give me. And we'll go into like how easy this is. How am I doing over there?
I think you're doing great.
All right.
It's
I
good
can't see the comments.
information.
So can't see
Yeah.
comments. So yeah.
I'm going to switch you back to your slides, but I have us both up right now. Let me ask you real quick. One of the
Yeah.
things that I notice is that people are using a lot of different types of tools. And so I know at some point we're going to be talking about this, but one of the magic things about Castmagic I love is that it can do a lot of the things that you just mentioned that people need to do. So I know you're going to get into that, but I'll pull up later the comments that people made about what they're using now so you can get a feel for that in case that helps.
Amazing. Yeah, that'd be great,
All
But
right.
yeah, it's one tool, but as you said, like, there's multiple tools out there that this isn't supposed to be a sales pitch. This is more of just like why you should be using AI to help you repurpose your content, whether it is any tool you've got in your arsenal, but technology is your friend, and that is the whole point. So I like to talk about, unfortunately, Blaine was going to join us. He's the co-founder. Going back to the comment of you're one of the OGs of Castmagic, but like Blaine and Ramon started the company. They were running a VC-backed company themselves, and they had a podcast, and the podcast here is DTC Pod. Think about it. They didn't have the time to do all the things you need to do to run a company and their podcast, from show notes and recaps and quotes and social promotion and all those other components that go into it. Once again, overwhelming. But that's why they created Castmagic, aiming for their engineering skills. And so as a result, they were able to take that and build Castmagic to do all the automation that we've just talked about, from volume, from data, from leveraging the insights and creating different promotions. And because of that, they were able to grow. And through that growth, I then started engaging with their brand. And so every Monday, I post 3 podcasts that I think people should listen to on my LinkedIn. Happen to have done their show because I listened to it, tagged them. Blaine then hit me up and he's like, hey, you seem to know a lot about podcasting. We built this tool. We think you'd be interested in hearing about it. Showed me Castmagic. I'm like, yes, this is what I've been trying to get creators to think about for ages, because you have a source file, whether it's your podcast, whether it's your voice, whether it's a YouTube video, whatever it is. How do you think beyond just a view? How do you think beyond just a download? How do you think beyond just one metric? And so now you can start taking that video, that audio, that source file, repurpose it, and be able to get more data, more volume, consistency, and so forth. And because of that, they were then able to get a sponsorship with their newsletter for $10,000. They pushed out their show to more social channels, which got me involved, and eventually got them into HubSpot Network. So they understood play the long game, but play the content personalization piece. So with that, I like to go into this next case study. So Mikey Taylor, he was a pro skateboarder, right? Like pro skateboarder who figured out how to make 9 figures by creating content. So if we can, hopefully this plays. Can we hear the volume?
We're not going to be able to hear the volume.
Uh,
Yeah, I didn't pick up on you using a video to
a
share.
video.
Sorry about
No
that.
worries. No worries. So what Mikey ended up talking about here is, let me go back. So Mikey's whole thing is he's figured out how to batch. So he literally locks himself in. Monday's all about strategy. Tuesday's content creation. And then he's able to take all the content that he's creating on Tuesday using tools and AI, redistribute that, and he's got fresh content that's always going out there, engaging with his audience, growing his audience, therefore growing revenue, growing monetization, growing other components. So if you think about it, he's able to, and we got Gary Vee, like they've got a system, and their system is create content, distribute it with repurposing, and they're using AI for their content operations. So that literally goes into how does this happen? Take that long form audio, take that long form video, take a voice memo, and we'll talk about that. Like, I don't have a podcast, I don't have a video. I literally take my thoughts, turn those into pieces of content, newsletter, blog, and so forth. Comes in, gives you your customization, distribution, rinse and repeat. So with that, let me take a look at what questions we got here.
Here, I'm going to pull some up on
Yeah,
screen.
what do we got? Canva, great.
Yeah, so I'm
So
going to pop up a few of these. First of all, let's see what's up. I'm saying hello. I'll see a lot of hello. I love it, Dan. Trendsetter, never a follower. Love it. Okay, LinkedIn. Somebody from LinkedIn using Jasper and
and ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
All right, I think you're gonna like what we've got here. What else
Uh,
do we see? I see Decipher and Pod Squeeze and ChatGPT. Cool.
yeah, let's see. A couple more. I'm gonna try to pull that, make that a little bit bigger then. Um, Mostly Canva to help me pick elements. So, yep, Canva would be a part of it. Jacqueline says this is good information. So, thank you for sharing. And
Thank you
Aisha
all.
said, I'm learning. Hey, that's what we want. We want
That's what
some
we
learning.
love, right?
Okay. So, when we think about Castmat, because I know you're saying you're not going to sell it, but I am. I'm promoting this app because I think that it is has taken out a lot of the steps that I used to follow, which I know we're going to get into my content workflow soon. But what else would you like to share with the people about the reason behind using content or repurposing content
AI
in the
to
way that
review.
we're
Yeah.
talking about AI specifically for that?
Um, it goes back to authentic voice. You are your brand. No one can replace you in that regard. So making sure that if you're using any other AI tools, that you keep your brand there. Um, I can go to ChatGPT and start asking things, but it's not me. It's not my words. It's not my voice. It's not my brand. Also, because in the world we're in right now with AI, as you content repurpose and you put more content out there, you've got to make sure that the crawlers are going like, is this written with AI? Well, it could be using AI, but if it's your brand, if it's your voice, then
Yeah.
that becomes something that you can't replicate. So those are the key pieces I always tell people. Like, sure, use AI, but make sure that it's you, it's authentic to you, and it sounds like you.
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest things, and this for me is a huge thing, because I saw myself starting to fall down the rabbit hole, to be honest with you, Greg, for a minute. When AI came out and everybody was all excited and like, woo, now I can shortcut all my stuff. What I found myself doing is the exact opposite of what we should be doing with AI. I was going in and saying, well, let me type in this question, get this prompt. I'm going to tell it to speak in this voice. And then you just go with it, copy and paste. But to your point, we have to add our own humanity back. And so what I've done is kind of done it in reverse now and said, here are my ideas. This is what I want to say. Help me improve it. Right. So then there's still, it always starts with me first. And I know people will do it differently, but in the end, you're right. AI is not, it should not be intended to replace your brand. It's designed to help you to enhance your brand
And
and what
work
you already know.
smarter. Work
Yeah.
smarter. Like, if you asked me to write a blog post, a newsletter, an email, a social promotion on Twitter and LinkedIn, I'm like, I'm overwhelmed just thinking about those 5 things. But now I can go ahead and say, I'm going to speak into my phone. Castmagic's going to turn that into 5 pieces of content for me. My words, my voice, my brand. But it saved myself time. And now I just got to edit it.
Yeah.
Whew, I can breathe.
I know. I can breathe too. You're right.
Yeah.
Look,
Right?
okay, so I got to put a couple more comments up here, and you let me know when it's time for me to show, because I'm showing off with Cast Magic.
We can dive into it and we can go through and help people understand how this is going to help them.
I want to do this real quick. Let's see. I use ChatGPT to come up with names, titles, or themes. Yep. Couple other folks. So Talk Virtual. There's Erica Bates using Glass Chat, Google Docs, and Canva. Yep. So using a lot of different tools. RK3 in the house. What's up, Robert Kennedy? Look. RK3 says, I'm getting ready to dig into Cast Magic. What? He said, I've owned it from AppSumo and didn't use it. Boo is right.
I mean, look, you didn't use it yet, Robert. You haven't used it yet. You still have it, right? So
That's
let's
right.
get you into it.
We are about to get into this, sir, because I'm definitely going to show you, I'll show everybody kind of how I'm using it, because I think that when you see what's possible, which is what we love to do on this show, is to show possibilities, then you'll be like, okay, I can see what I can do with this. I'm with you, Tanya. I write and ask AI to enhance for me. That's Bridget. Yes, yes, yes. What's up, tech troublemaker? Thank you for reminding me. Please be sure to hit the like button. And look, Joe Steele is a fan. I'm a Cast Magic user. Totally worth it. Thank
What's
you.
that, Joe?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need to put up, I'm going to put some confetti up for Joe's comment, because I want to make sure we hype that up. Thank you, Joe. Aisha, I'm going to put your comment up. I'm very hesitant to use AI though, but I am okay in using it to save time and create more useful content for myself and for my clients. Yes.
And that goes back to what we were talking about, Aisha, where it's like, don't over automate. AI can be a tool and can be helpful, but also, yeah, there are those concerns to use it. And that's why, as you know, the platform is here using your voice, your brand.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Shall we do this? Let's dive in.
Yeah. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm going to showcase. I just realized I did something that I need to fix. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to
Now, so
duplicate.
show mine. I'll give you the demo, and then let's go to your workflow.
Okay, let's do it. I'm
Yeah,
pulling you up right now so that you can share your demo. Let's go.
yeah. So here we go. This is the screen I usually love to show people to start off, because it tells you the evolution of Castmagic. What we originally started off as a podcasting platform turned into all of these. So now you can run your meetings, your coaching, your customer discovery, your work courses. So I'm going to take my podcast, I'm going to load it into Castmagic, and I'm going to get these 13 things out of the box. Or I can take a YouTube file and get these 10 things out of the box. Run my meetings through it and get action items. One of my favorite workflows is I take a podcast, load it in here, and I'll show you using a prompt to turn into a course. I go to Canva, create that as a workflow, record the course, bring that course in here. Now it gives you my session worksheet, my lead magnet, so many great things. So you've got all the ability to create multiple workspaces. So if you've got a workspace for you as a client, or you're as an agency, or if you're a coach, as you can see, I've got one for my podcasting, one for my coaching, iOS recordings, and so forth. Take a look at what it is. You can input any content in here. So upload directly from your computer. If you got a file in there, you can go take your YouTube files. You can take Vimeo. You can take a Reel, TikTok, Instagram. You can go take your RSS feed. So like, I love this is a pre-production going like, all right, Scott's coming on my show. I want to know, what should I be asking Scott? I can go to ChatGPT and go, I know a little bit about Scott, so why don't you answer questions? What question should I ask Scott? Literally happens to me all the time. I'll go on a podcast and people ask me kind of generic questions. They came up with AI, or I can put that Scott's previous recording or a video I found of Scott into Castmagic. It's then going to give me a robust list of questions based on what he's already said, so it can be even more customized to him. So I get whatever content I want in there, and then here are all my recordings. Quickly upload it, and if we dive in, it's going to give you a transcript. So transcripts are great for content. You can look at this as a blog post. You can look at this as how you use it for other video content. You can download it and get your little bouncing balls, but fully editable. And then we look at the AI content. So once again, my voice, my brand, what I said on my show, now it's giving me titles. It's giving me SEO keywords, or if I'm on the if I've got my metadata, there you've got that. It's going to create the speaker bio, literally based on what the person introduced themselves. One of my favorite is I modifies it. So write the speaker bio in the tone of Robin Williams. So add a different tonality to it that I may want. Introduction. Timestamp overview. So those of you on the video side, especially dealing with YouTube, like, these are your YouTube chapters right there, done, easy for you. Topics and bullet points. It's going to pull out your quotes. So if you've got a piece of content, you're like, all right, I want to clip this and figure out what are the good quotes that I should. We already give you a hook. We give you the quote, and you're able then to go into the transcript, and you can turn that, highlight it, click the clip media, download that as an audio file, download it as an MP4 file, depending on what the source material was, and bam, I've already gotten great quotes.
Hold up. I
Yeah.
didn't even know you could do that.
Oh, you didn't know about the
I didn't know
clipping?
you could
Yeah.
do that in the transcript.
So I can click the clip. Yeah, this is maybe 3 weeks old.
Every
So if
time I
it
look at
is a
this app,
video,
it's updating and adding more stuff. Sorry, I just had to geek out for a second. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yep. No. What I can use in RSS feed? Yes, right? So if you've got back catalog, like, that's the whole thing. I got dust on the hard drive. Like, how do I take that dust on the hard drive and upload it? If I've got all this video content on YouTube, repurpose it. So I'll even show you how to figure out new ways to repurpose that. But yeah, you can go ahead and take your YouTube, bring it in here. Take that RSS feed, take your back catalog, bam. All I have to do is then hit import. Once I hit the import, that's when it starts generating. But right now, I'm just looking at this RSS feed. So yeah, all amazing ways to take catalog, back catalog, stuff that's just sitting on the shelf that you should be looking at repurposing. So let's continue
Greg, that's
going
crazy.
on. Right?
That is nuts.
So now let's get into social promotion. So if I go back to Gary Vee, like, how does he take this one video and create all these social promotions? So takes that video, here's your real script. Now I can go ahead and say, like, hey everyone, from your latest episode of Greg's podcast, today we talked about, there's my script. It's literally recording my promo video for me. Creates my LinkedIn post, creates the newsletter. Remember, this is your voice, your brand, just generated in a modality that makes sense for those different distribution channels. Tweet threads by Instagram. And my favorite, the questions. Going back to that whole Scott Pollock piece, like, I can now come up with 10 different blog posts. I can come up with questions that I can go ask on a podcast interview. All I did, I mean, you can confirm for me, like, it's a few minutes of taking that file, uploading it, and then this is all generated right away, right?
Yep. It takes no time.
And now you get into the fun part. Like, now you can start creating your own prompts. So here's a too long didn't listen highlight, analogy, metaphor, parable. That's how my brain thinks. Someone came up with this prompt. I'm like, oh, yes. Summarize this podcast episode in an analogy, a metaphor, and parable. Here's the fun one I said, course creation. Literally take any podcast episode, in this case, take any piece of content, turn it into a course, and now I've built out a course with a quiz and so forth that I can now monetize and sell. Show notes, as you can see, we don't actually give show notes. Everyone does show notes differently. So I came up with a prompt that would be relevant for me in my show notes, and a custom newsletter. So you truly have the ability to go now into Magic Chat and start coming up with whatever prompts you want. And here's the prompt I came up with. Saved it, and now it will run in every piece of content. Can I make my screen bigger?
Yeah, do
Let's see
that
here.
control plus sign. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Did that help, RK3? I was thinking my old eyes were just,
And
but
it's funny, like now this is just like too big. I was the back of the classroom kind of kid, because when you're so close, I'm like, I'm just too close to it. Like I got to be back away so I can see everything, right? Yeah. Hopefully
uh,
that works for you. But yeah, so this is the prompt I came up with. But like, here's a prompt. I didn't save it, so it's only relevant in this actually recording. Whereas this all comes up, and I saved it, and now every recording. Wow, yeah, this is so weird to look at this. Every recording now in here is exactly. Yeah, I've never done it this big. So let's just
okay,
jump
if you
down to the bottom. No. Helps
okay.
the audience. So there, now every recording, that saved prompt is going to run. So you can start automating. So if we go back to how to use 10x to repurpose your content, I'm creating one piece of content and all these other distribution pieces that I can come up with.
That is so
And
nuts.
so other things I love to show is pages. So pages allows you now to take up to 5 recordings. And in this case, I built out these 5 coaching calls, and you're a professional writer. At the New York Times, the 5 recordings here are conversations about podcasting. Leveraging the recordings, write a detailed article. And now, once again, my words, my source material, I've now written an article that is of quality from the New York Times, right? But like, it's this robust. You can start thinking about this. Now I can put this as gated content behind a paywall, or make this as a great SEO function article on my website. You've got courses. So if I look at here, if you're a course creator, it's going to create the conceptual takeaways. It's going to create your quotes. It's going to create a worksheet for you. It's going to create a quiz for you. It's going to do all of these things based on what the audio or video piece of content is. And Walter, what is the time frame in learning? I'll turn it to some of the people here, but I do an onboarding call, literally walk you through everything. We have a community, it's top of the hour, right? Like, I'm honored to be part of this community today, having known that you're part of our original community. So you're not alone. People are here to truly help you, because prompt engineering is the hardest thing that everyone's still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So some of the prompts I'm sharing with you right now, everyone's like, whoa, I never would have thought about that. I didn't think about that until someone shared it with me, right? And so as we start sharing these prompts, it's still your content, and that is where it's the unique brand authenticity of you.
Here,
One
I'm
of the
going to blow
questions
it
I
up a
made.
little bit so that maybe that will be helpful too. There we go. And if you need to reduce your screen a little bit so you know where you are, that works too. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
yeah,
Let me put
Agent
some of these
Grace.
comments up here, and that way I'll give you a chance to do what you need to with your screen if you need to change it. But I need to get some of these questions put up on screen so other people can see them. First of all, Valerie said the same thing I said, which was I didn't know you could do clips from that. So that is huge. I didn't know you could just go into the transcript and select like that. That's a big thing. Of course, Erica didn't know I could use RSS feed. She wishes she caught it on AppSumo. I know. I saw a couple other people say they wish they had caught it as well, but it's not too late. You can still get it. I will make sure I pop up my QR code here screen soon. Oh, we've done that. Let me go back. Um,
Aging with Grace, yeah, onboarding call. Bottom left corner of your account says schedule an onboarding call. It's my calendar. Let's do it.
awesome, awesome. Aging with Grace in the house. Let's see. Question: what is the time frame? You already answered that, and really, I would say this, Walter. It didn't. If you're already playing in Chat GPT or some type of AI platform now, I think it might be a little bit more intuitive than if you're just starting off the bat. But frankly, this probably is easier to use than Chat GPT is. Like you said, Greg, I think the big thing is learning how to write the prompts so you get the results you want, because the output is only as good as the input. So whatever you're putting in and asking it to do, that's what output you'll get. And the more you do it, the thing I like about this tool, honestly, Greg, is that you have some sample prompts already ready to go.
Yep, I've got built into it in the community as well as what I've done. So yeah, I love this question.
Yeah, if I
So
use it,
remember,
what do you think?
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go ahead. You're
Um,
answering.
AI is here to assist, right? Like I still need my touch. So if I look at all the content here, I'm still going to go in here and make some edits. That's why everything in here is editable. Like it's a workspace. Castmagic is a workspace for all of your content repurposing. So I can now go ahead and use a source material. Like here's what I do. I use our,
Oh,
hold on. There we go. I use the iOS app and I literally record my thoughts. And I'm like, all right, I'm thinking about something. My thoughts, my words. And now, if you asked me to turn that into a LinkedIn post, probably not being there. But now I let Castmagic turn it into my tweet thread, turn it into my LinkedIn post. And now I just make a little changes into it. So I'm working smarter because I'm on a walk and I have an idea. Great. How do I hold on to that idea and then turn that into the post that I need as opposed to try and write it? Yeah, definitely not helping. Can we trade the AI? So yeah, you want to see? I'll show you some cool things on that. So you want to pop back, and I'll show you. And then I want everyone to see your workflow. So cool things that you've got here is I'm creating a new prompt. So I come up with a title, I come up with what the prompt is, and then content sample. So let's say you follow someone on LinkedIn or Twitter and you're like, this is a viral post. I want my style to match their style. My words, their style. So I can come in here and paste that style and that tweet thread in here, and then it will create my prompt. So if it's like, write me a LinkedIn post, and then the content sample is someone else's LinkedIn post, like I know Dan Roth does amazing post, right? So I could come here and go like, great, I want Dan's style, but my words, because he's got great style. I can go and do that. So it's not so much training it, it's more of, once again, giving it a format. From a training standpoint, once again, it's your words. So it is using you and your source material, or whatever your source material may be. And then you've got here context prompt. So context prompt is giving it the context of what is this workspace about, or what is this recording about. So in the case of one of my spaces, I guest on a lot of people's podcasts. So I created a whole space for that. And then my context prompt is, these recordings are podcast episodes where Greg Wasserman is the guest, and the AI content should be written in the first person for Greg. So now I don't have to go ahead and say, like, write me this in the first person. It literally now writes everything for me. My LinkedIn post now is, and I had an incredible time being a guest on Brianna's podcast. We delved in some insightful discussions. Here are 3 key takeaways. Once again, it's already written. It's for me, about me, because that's what I said.
that is so slick. Look, I'm almost like I don't want to show my workflow because because I haven't been using it to the max, but I still will show it. But that is crazy, Greg. It can do a lot more than I actually thought. The
It's
context, all of that that you just
context.
showed.
The North Star for Castmagic is accuracy. So how do we take your source file and make the output even more accurate? And that is, give it content, give it context, give it your voice, give it more a prompting in a sense, if you want to look at it that way, so that you can get more of what you're trying to do.
I love it. I love every bit of it. I'm going to
All
try
right,
to
show your
show.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to switch this out and do some things real quick. I'm going to do some magic because I forgot to create my own screen share. Duh. So I'm going to do that right now as we are on live. Okay. And I am going to share a mind map first. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to share with you a couple of really quick hitter things and I'll explain it as I go. And then I will show you what I'm using Castmagic to do today. But tomorrow, now that I know it can do even more because Greg just dropped all that knowledge on us, I think you're going to see my flow change. Okay. So, one of the things that I like to do, what's up? I know it is very cool. I'm seeing comments. People are loving this and they're going to definitely be using it. I can see that happening. So, here's what I
I
want
have
to
a
share
feeling
with
like
you.
they're all going to be on my onboarding pretty soon. I'm like, all right, just
Yeah.
tell me where you came from and I'll help you.
Tell them that Tanya sent you, y'all, when you go. Tell them. So I wanted to share this really quickly, and this is a real high level, because there's much more. I actually use a couple of different platforms in order to keep organized. So one of the things that I actually do, just to give you, again, high level context, is I have a live stream planner. I've talked about this on the show before. I have a live stream planner that I keep in Retable. So I know, for instance, all the different shows that I need to manage. I know the URLs for YouTube, etc. And so one of the things that I'm about to do, and this is a post live workflow. So I actually have two main workflows when it comes to the live stream. One is the pre and one is the post. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the post. When I do the post, it's based on the YouTube URL because for me, it is primarily video that I do. Now, moving forward, there will be some other things that I can talk about later. But because I use the video, I'm going to first, after I get done with my live, even tonight, I will go in here and confirm that I saved the file. So I've got that local file. That I'm telling you because I want you to remember that you always need to own your content. Okay. So regardless of the fact that it's on YouTube and all these other places, store your content, save it somewhere on your own space. So that's number one. Number two, I create a short link for my planner. And I'll just give you a quick overview of what the planner looks like in a second. Three, I add a link to, actually, this should say Video Opus and Castmagic, because this is where the three places that or two places that I actually go to next are going to be Castmagic and either Video AI or Opus Clip. Now, I'll tell you why. It's only because Castmagic has yet to, and it may happen, but to be able to take my video clip and turn it into short clips. So that's why Video AI or Opus would be my go-to. So these two places are going to get my link. So once that YouTube link is uploaded, which I'll show you my Castmagic in a minute, these are all the pieces of content that I can get just from Castmagic. And this was pre-today. This was before I knew what Greg just said. Because Greg, you probably did more than 10 times for me. Because right here, I've got timestamps and description. I use those specifically because I want to go back into my YouTube video and I want to add timestamps and chapters. This helps me to do that. Castmagic helps me to do that. Quotes and hooks I can convert into images that I use on in Canva, right? So I can pull those quotes and those hooks that you have produced for me in Castmagic from my single link and turn those into images. A LinkedIn newsletter is something I'm about to start. And so because of that, I have been looking for ways to really shortcut that. And I noticed a really fancy prompt, Greg, in Castmagic that I was like, ooh, that'll be my LinkedIn newsletter. It's going to pull from my videos that I do already every week. And it's going to create the written text portion of the newsletter so that people have something to actually read and not just watch. Wrap up reels. So you talked about, for instance, how it can give you kind of a summary of the key takeaways from your video. Well, that can turn into a wrap up reel that you just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do this 60-second reel, and I'm using the Castmagic content as my script. Threads, tweets. I don't really tweet right now, but threads haven't really, if you're using that, if you're using either one of those, you've got them in Castmagic. Blog post with the markdown included, meaning all the headers, all of that's in Castmagic. And then you can even create a carousel because I happen to see that as one of the prompts. So I'm going to show you real fast. Let me see if I can do this. So Castmagic for me right now, I only had one workspace, Greg, but I use this sucker to the max. Like this is what I use. In addition to this, let me go back and I'll show you
Oh, so you don't
also.
even use voice memos?
I
You
didn't
don't even
even
use the app?
that until you just said that I hadn't thought of it. So now that's what I'm saying. Like you're expanding my thinking on how that's crazy.
Walk and talk, think and pray. There you go. Turn
That's
it into something that you could use.
So at the beginning of my flow, and I said I was going to kind of showcase what this looks like. At the beginning of my flow is me making sure that I'm mapping out an outline of the content and what I want to do with it. So I do have something that's similar to Airtable called Retable. For those of you who don't know, I'll be doing a video about it probably next week. But when I'm done and I produce it, this is where my YouTube link is. So I can easily come in here and pull that YouTube link, and I can do this for any type of video that I thought did really well in 2023. I'm going back for the ones that I didn't already repurpose in Castmagic, and I'm pulling my YouTube link to then go into Castmagic, add the link where it says import audio or video. So right here, this is what I've been using. Notice also, and you said this, Greg, but I just saw this today, that it can pull from your Reels and from TikTok.
I think we released TikTok this week or last week. Yeah.
So y'all are constantly adding new features.
Every week there's something new, which is also why every week we do a weekly workshop to try and A, educate like all the new stuff. B, I update the quick start guide. So like I guess I don't say like what's new in the quick start guide, but like everything is always in there that we're constantly releasing. So try to keep you up to date. But yeah,
And I was just using this minimally. I was just using it for that's all.
how do we become the ultimate workspace for content repurposing? Eventually we'll have articles, because a lot of people are like, oh, I've written something, how do I bring that in here without having to translate text to talk? Or let's repurpose it. That's what we want.
So look, this is one from my last week video. I think it was last week that I did this 5 personal lessons from 2023. So I've got my transcript, and remember I was talking about the different types of content that I use. So I leverage this page where it says AI content, and I utilize much of the stuff that's in here, but I noticed something else that is new, Greg. If I didn't want to use the pre-made prompts that come with Castmagic, I can really customize this workspace to how I want it to produce content by managing the prompts.
Yep.
And moving
Move
things
them
that are
around.
important to me around, which I just discovered this. This is crazy. So what I love is that you gave us a prompt. There's a prompt up here somewhere. When you explore community prompts, there was a
Or the
prompt
bottom
that
left
somebody,
corner has it too. Yep.
that's so nuts, that had social carousels. And I was like, well, dang. So I can quickly just go into Canva and create a social carousel based off of my live stream. What? Y'all, I hope you're seeing the power, because he mentioned it, but I'm sitting here and my brain is churning. I'm like, I've got smoke coming out of my ears right now because I'm thinking of all the time this will save. Because instead of me having to go into ChatGPT and figure out what prompt I'm going to put, it's like here, I just put my URL from my YouTube video in here, and it produces all this content that I can then go back and just modify to my liking. Look at that. So
And
here's the
what I
time.
love,
See, go ahead.
click your jump button. At the top, click your jump button.
Jump at the top. Oh,
So we made it easy now for you to quickly get to where you need to go. So you've got far more prompts than I do. Without having to scroll, you can now literally just either hit 1 through 9, it'll take you there. Or like you said, you had to just scroll. So I could just click on the bottom one, custom newsletter, click on custom newsletter. Bam, it's going to take you straight to the
I
custom newsletter.
love it. Y'all are thinking of everything. Now, why would I use this CSV?
So I know a lot of people. So you can export it as you can copy your content and paste it other places. You can use Zapier. So right now we have a Zapier integration to zap it wherever you need. I know a lot of people. They're like, great, I'm going to export this as a CSV, and they've got systems set up on how to use the data from that and export it and create something else. So I did the workshop yesterday, and I forget, but she exports it, uses the 10 title that we provide, and in her CSV, when she exports it, she's got some tool that she's using that then grabs those 10 titles and is able to do something else really unique and cool with it. Like, I'm sorry, everyone with their own systems, it's amazing what people do. Once again, Castmagic is just one tool in their tool belt that works with all these others, but this is how to use AI to repurpose.
I am just blown away. And I thought I knew Castmagic. So, look, y'all, I'm like, wow. I want to get some comments. Let me see what y'all are thinking. What do you think about Castmagic? Let's see. Michelle said, amazing. I know. Valerie said, I have the app but hadn't really used it. I know. I thought I was using it, but
I,
now I will.
I love purposely living with Michelle's last comment, pre-recorded one. Like, yes, Michelle. Going
Let
back
me
to the
see.
example of Gary Vee, going back to the example of Mikey, like that is what they do. They batch their content, get it all then reproduced for them using AI, and so then like they don't have to worry about it. Then they spend the rest of their week actually doing business and not thinking about all the content, or maybe they've got engagement from that standpoint. So yeah,
That is so nuts. Look, I got to grab my QR code because I forgot to put that up. So I want to do that so you have access, folks. Let me get it. I had it stored in here somewhere on one of these slides. I will find it real fast. And meanwhile, nope, not there. Here it is. Dang it. But I'm going to move it over into our space where we are talking so that you can continue to kind of ask questions and see what else you want to ask about or look
so
at.
since you're bringing up that QR code, want to let you know. So by being here, not only do you have to use that promo code, but then I will give you a free month of the hobby plan. So 200 minutes with the promo code of your name 100. So if you want to pop that up, let people know. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Okay, say that again. So I need to pop up. What do I need to pop up so they can get
your
this?
name and the number 100.
Tanya 100. That's what we're doing.
Tanya 100, all
Hey,
caps.
I'm putting it all up in here. Hold on, y'all. So use the QR code and use this code so you can
You
get
need to
some.
do both.
Ooh, I love it. Look, I told y'all I was going to do something up in here. So put that in. Go to the QR code and put that code in so that you can benefit from this. Because look, several of you are saying that you didn't have it and now you're going to use it. Well, now you can, and you get a bonus perk for being here tonight. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate you. Yeah, my mind is blown too. Let me put this up. Radiance
I mean,
Barbertilla said,
the
mind
whole point
blown.
is there's no action. There's no change without action. So go take action. Go play with it.
I
Go
love
go
it.
go see what it is. Let us train you. Go repurpose. And to answer the question about an absolute wonder, is there an agency level? In a sense, yes, you've got the ability to create multiple spaces and invite team members to each space, specific spaces, however you want to do it. So, um, uh, I didn't
Let
even
me.
show the shareable page. Like, there's so many things that I didn't get to show you, that will blow your mind.
Do you want to show them that for a minute? Or we?
I don't know. It'll
I
help.
know we're at time, but
I mean, you're at time. I'm good. Look, 6 o'clock for me. I know it's 9 o'clock for some of you.
I'm awake. So I'm gonna put your screen back up, and you can show them. Show us.
Uh,
Okay.
so let's go here. You get the team function. So I click on team, and there you go. I can invite someone to that space, whereas here, I have not invited anyone to that space. So you've got that, and then I love this. So if we drill into a coaching call, you got this little button here in the right corner, says share. So if I click share, it now gives me the ability to share this recording. So I'm going to show you at the highest level what that looks like. So if I'm a coach or I have internal meetings, this is a great tool. So for me, my coach is able to go, hey, here's our coaching call. You want to listen to it? Go for it. You can play it there. You want to read the transcript or anything that we said. And then you got the AI content. So right now I'm showing you everything that came in that AI content. If you want it, you could only limit what this person gets. So if you want it as a coach, you could be like, hey, here's what we talked about. Here are the topics we talked about. Here's our worksheet for you, right? But he's going to hide probably the follow-up email. So if we go back in here,
Oh
choose the
my
little three dots,
goodness.
display in shared link. By clicking that, that will not show up in this. So now you've got an ability to literally take your business to a next level. If you're in the podcast space, you can automate guest content and go, great, thank you for coming on my show. Send the shareable link. Only share the automated guest content. Write me a LinkedIn post, write me a blog post, write me all these things in the guest's voice and go, hey, here you go. And then, oh, what do you know? Magic chat. So if they understand prompting, they can now be enabled and start engaging to go, oh, I didn't like the LinkedIn post that you gave me. I know how to write a better LinkedIn post prompt. So I'm going to do that with your source material, which is me on your call. So you can do that. I've got course creators that have embedded this on their I guess their website so that people can now engage and they're like, great, here's my course, here's the recording, here's the transcript, here's the notes and anything else you want. And students, if you want, go ahead and use Magic Chat, or you cannot enable it. Like, we gave you so much customization that allows you to truly take your business to another level.
Dude, you just said a whole word. Like this was like a whole masterclass. Okay, hold up. So I know RK3, so we all need to be sitting in. I'm going to go back through whatever events you have coming up, Greg, where you're showing and teaching. I'm getting ready to sign up. I know that folks that are on the call are going to be signing up too. Holy moly. Okay, Valerie said, where is course creation? Is that a prompt?
So yes, it is. It is taking a recording and turning into a course. It is included in the community prompts. It's a basic one. If you want to get more detailed and you understood the more functionality of creating a prompt, you can go ahead and do that. Automate it. But the one I showed you is just the basic one, and helps me create a simple framework.
I think it's in here, isn't it? Under Explore Community Prompts. I
Yep.
remember seeing it. So, what you can do, Valerie, and anybody else, that if you have it, you go into Explore Community Prompts, and if there's specific ones you're looking for, oh, maybe because I got it in all caps. There it was. I think it was right there. Nope. Let's see. Why am I in all caps? Anyway, I know that there's several. I remember seeing it in here. So I think that's user error, me putting that in there improperly. But you can look through this and find different versions of prompts that are available right now, or you can create your own. Because look, who doesn't have Chat GPT right now or some other thing that is showing you how to generate prompts. Pull those same prompts over in here into Castmagic. I like this one. Have you seen this one
So
used,
it's
Greg?
not, it is not, it is, this is why you're not finding it. The course creation one is not in the community prompts.
Ah,
It is
okay.
on my Notion document.
Okay. So you need to add that one. Okay, that's a special request from Stream Like a Boss TV audience. But I do see this one on quizzes. I see a thank you email, key themes, SMS. There's tons of stuff in here. Summarize the episode in Spanish. I just saw that one. So, second language?
Yeah, you have the ability. So the translation of the transcript is going to be English to English, Spanish to Spanish. Like we aren't at the capacity right now to do that.
Okay.
But if you wanted to do a prompt and go in like, hey, write me a LinkedIn post in Spanish, your source material is English, it can go ahead and do that.
When do you hold? This is my last question. When do you
No, I'm
hold
all here.
training and onboarding and all that stuff so that we know?
So bottom left corner of the account says schedule an onboarding call. There's the
Okay.
join our Slack community in the bottom left corner as well, become an affiliate. So all those things are in the corner there. I do an onboarding call Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My calendar's there, so certain times for that. And then every week, Blaine and I, so one of the co-founders and I, for our community, will do weekly workshops. And that will literally be an hour of us going through updates, giving you trainings and what's going on, you sharing feedback and what you're running into or what you would love to see. We're building this because we're users and you give us the feedback. No different than your story of like when you first started, you're like, yeah, this isn't what I want, but give us a moment, it will get there and it's just going to continue. I think someone posted about we are not at the place right now of doing articles, but that is something we want to be doing. So things will continue to progress.
Yeah, I don't struggle with the prompts. I just need the assistant to do the work. Well, Castmagic could be one of those assistants. Yeah, we do need to put together. Okay, so one of our co-working, we have co-working this Saturday for Stream Bosses Academy, so we can do some stuff. We can do some stuff with this. Ooh, I love it. Yeah, class would be amazing because this is powerful. Look, don't be surprised if I try to pull something together and get Blaine and or Greg back. Just don't be surprised because this is really good stuff. Yeah, come through. I know. I love it. I love it. Man, this has been, I know I kept you past time. And y'all, I did put my QR code up here, but don't forget to put Tanya 100. Make sure that it's caps, so that you can get
And
your
that promo code's only good for a week. So once
okay.
again, no change without action. So if you're just attending here, yeah.
Better, hey, get on it, y'all. Within the week, get on it. But look, Greg, this has been amazing. It's more than I thought Castmagic could do. I knew that it was a really solid platform, but I did not have. And I know, look, he's like, get the app too. I didn't even know. I don't know why I didn't know there was an app. So now,
So you're not going to find the app in the App Store. It's in beta. So the only way to access it is through the Quick Start Guide or in our
okay.
community. But the Quick Start Guide, the bottom of the page, I've got the link in there, instructions, install it. It's all tied to your account.
Oh, I'm on it. Trust. I'm about to be on that. So thank you. Yes, RK3 said there is an app. Yes, there is, sir. Yes, there is. That's what he was talking about, the voice memo, so that you can just speak into it while you're, stopped at the stoplight. You speak your ideas and then the thing, I know, and then the thing just does its magic. That's why it's called Castmagic, y'all.
There's someone in the community, her and her co-host, for 2 minutes record it. They're doing a Napa Trava guide. And so they recorded a conversation between them about like what they wanted to do for this Napa Travel guide. Put it into Castmagic, right? And it literally built them with the prompts they had already come up with, all the things they needed. There's another guy in community. He's currently at CES and he's built prompts in there and he's in the publication world. So he literally built prompts to go talk to all the different businesses and booths that he's talking to, ask some questions, record them, and it wrote all the articles that he would be doing and put on his website. Now think about how much work he would have had to gone through after the event. Like, we're in Vegas for CES. He's like, I got to go out and party and network and everything. And Castmagic's doing all the work for him because he's like, all right, I already recorded all these conversations. I've come up with all my prompts. Now everything's going to make me great articles. I can publish that. Like, you're automating so much more. Once again, his voice, his prompts, his articles.
That is so nuts. Just a couple more comments I got to pop up. So, um, yeah, look, RK3 said joining. He said, oh, snap, joining the community now. Carlos said, that is very cool. Michelle is putting fire bombs. I know it is a content marketing killer or reviver. I don't know. It's like an angel because it's creating tons and tons and saving you so much time from having to go and get a ton. So when I said we need to promote this thing, I was not joking. I know you said, I'm not trying to sell, but you know what? This thing sells itself. Oh, let me get my affiliate code before you schedule the session. I know. Grab
And
that
so with
code,
that,
y'all. Do
and
it
so
before a week.
one thing I forgot to stress, like, you brought up the point, like, not trying to sell, giving the things away. It's a free gift. We do require a credit card. Like, that's the only thing that I have to, but you can cancel within 30 days, like, no problem. But to prevent abuse, to prevent things on our side, like, yes, it does require a credit card. I'm sorry.
And when they put this code in, someone asked, what again? What does it do again? If they put this code
Gives
in, what
you
does that get them?
It takes your hobby. So if you choose the hobby plan, which is 200 minutes, it's $39 a month. It should, when you enter that code, so the first thing you're going to do is click sign up, and it's going to ask you to create an account. The next thing's going to take you to like a billing page. If you enter in the promo code, you're going to see the price go down to $0, and that's going to give you a month free at the hobby.
Month free of hobby, y'all. RK3, it is on Slack.
Correct.
Yep. The community is on Slack. So for those of you who are familiar with Slack, and even if you're not, Slack is pretty easy to learn. I know you are RK3, so I know that. Carlos asked, will the price ever be lower? It's probably going to go
Um,
up. That's my guess.
So Carlos, the price is $39.99 and $2.99, depending on the three plans we've got. But what most people end up doing is take advantage of the 40% discount at the yearly price. So at $23, then you're getting it for instead of $39. So yeah, I don't see the price. What we tried to do really hard is set the price at what it is, and then just keep adding all these other features instead of like adding more cost, which is also where I came in with the affiliate piece.
Yeah.
So how do we make it easy instead of changing things and changing so much? I know, sorry, RK3, but like, I didn't want to do Facebook. I'm like, I just couldn't do Facebook. I grew up with Facebook. I'm like, I can't do this. Tried thinking of circles. Discord just brought me back to like AOL chat rooms, and I'm like, I'm having PTSD here. So I live in Slack. Slack was the easiest.
It's Castmagic Community on Slack.
Yeah, but you can only access it, Carlos, and by being a member. So you actually have to get the link, and the link is inside your account in the bottom left corner.
Bless Facebook, I know. And Discord is worse. I know, RK3, I say the same. So yeah, I've got Discord, Slack communities, so on and so forth. But I found a way to be okay with Slack because Castmagic is there. That's really the only reason why I'm there. But I appreciate them having a space that we can go. Okay, y'all. I really do have to let my friend Greg go. I got to wrap this thing up. Remember to put in Tanya 100 so that you can get that 1 month free. And that's on the hobby plan, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So check it out. If you already have it, which several of you do because I turned you on to it a few months back, use it now. now we know what is possible, and there's so many things. So thank you again, Greg, for
I expect
sharing.
my calendar to be booked next week with
Oh,
everyone coming into the onboarding calls, right?
trust.
Since today's Thursday, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully the time works for you guys. I think it's 8 a.m., 12 a.m., or 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. my time. So yeah, I look forward to putting faces to names here.
Yes. Yeah. Aisha said you're now her friend. Greg is now all of our friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close it out. Look, Carlos said, wait, that far? I need onboarding right now.
All right. What you should do is then read the onboarding guide. Read that, start familiarizing yourself with that, and then we'll walk through things. But yeah, that should help you a lot.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And I see other comments. Trust me, I will be booking week after next because people have travel, but it's coming. So wait, your calendar is about to be full. I really
I love it.
appreciate you again, Greg. Thank you so much for
Likewise.
coming. Tell Blaine I said hi. I'm sorry we missed him, but he was here in spirit because Cast Magic is here. So I'm
His
going to get
company.
ready to close us out. Let me do that real fast. Everybody, look, thank you again for coming to Stream Like a Boss TV. I did go way over what we normally do. RKC3, you're on the Slack. I love it. Look, this was fun. I hope that you enjoyed it. I want to do more of this kind of thing because, look, being able to leverage more software systems and strategies to really just streamline the work we do. Hey, 2024 is all about us getting more done in less time, and I'm here for it. And I think Cast Magic is one of the tools that should be at the top. It's like an apex platform, right? An apex tool that should be at the top of our game when we're repurposing our stuff, especially if you're into live streaming video, but also if you're doing audio podcasts, also if you're talking into the voice memo app, all of those things. I'm just really, really excited about this. So thank you again for spending time. Where do you get my t-shirt, Aisha? I'm getting ready to do more merch sales, so I promise I will be selling this or showing this store off a little bit more very soon. So thank you for asking. Okay, everybody. It's been a long night, but I hope it's been fruitful. If you learned anything, put it in the chat. I'll be watching over the next couple of days to check and see if there's comments I need to reply to. And also, I'll send you back love. If you're sending me love, make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it and you got something out of it, and share it with a friend. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it. You'll find me there doing streaming every Thursday. We do take breaks sometimes, but most Thursdays of 2024, I'll be here with you. Okay, we'll see you next time. I'll see you in the stream next Thursday for another hot topic.